Hi, everyone. Welcome to Azure User Group Sweden. Hi, Håkan. How are you
Hello,
today?
hello, Riona. I'm very fine. How are you?
I'm great. It's very great or sunny weather today here in Sweden in my area. It's 18 degrees already. How about you in your area?
It's above 20, I think it's
Oh,
22, and sun.
summer.
It's a very nice summer day.
Yes, and I do like your background.
Oh,
Very
thank
nice
you.
background. Yeah. Yeah. So everyone that's tuning in and watching us live today, I hope that you're having a great Saturday, and we appreciate your time joining us. And before we introduce the speaker or get started, I would like to take time to introduce my co-community leader, Hovkan Silva. He is also a Microsoft MVP for AI. He works as a manager for big data and AI at Miles in Norway. And he is also very active as an international speaker and also a community leader of different user groups, including the Norwegian .NET user group, the AI School AR42, and also ambassador of Oslo AI. And it's an honor that I've been collaborating with Håkan in building and keeping this community together with you and also the experts that are volunteering to be with us bi-weekly on weekends. So thank you, Håkan.
Yeah, thank you, Jonah. So it's also my pleasure and honor to introduce Jonah. So Jonah Anderson, she is the founder of our user group. She is a Microsoft Azure MVP and also a Microsoft certified trainer. She is also a blogger and a podcast host, a mentor, and an international public speaker. And she works as a cloud and DevOps engineer, and she is soon to release her first book on O'Reilly. So,
Yes,
do you want to
that's
tell us
right.
about and when is it coming out actually?
It's actually coming out after summer, so it's
Mm.
actually done. Just it just need to be polished more, but it's available for pre-order everywhere. Actually, I was surprised to see that my book was already ready for order in Adlibris in local Swedish bookstores. So it's interesting, and I revealed my animal cover recently to my followers. So I look forward to see the result of my hard work, and thank you for the support, Håkan, and the community.
Yeah, congratulations, Jonah. It's really an achievement.
Yes, thank you. We do have, let's say hi to everyone. We do have friends saying hi. Nikos. Hi, Nikos. Wendy in Malmo. Don't get blown away. Keep yourself on the ground. And then there is someone from the Netherlands. Oh, 28 degrees in the Netherlands. Very nice weather. We have also someone from LinkedIn saying hello.
Oh,
Hi, Abhishek. I hope I pronounced it. Thank you for tuning in from LinkedIn and also from our channels. Okay, are we? Oh, we need to show the code of conduct first
yes.
before we introduce our. So, before we start, we would like to remind everyone about our code of conduct. As you can see here, we expect everyone in the community to be nice and friendly, listen and with purpose and be thoughtful, be respectful to others, seek to understand and not criticize, be curious and open to share your ideas during our session, even in our virtual fika, and be respectful and inclusive with your comments in all of our channels. And if you have questions or feedback about this code of conduct, feel free to reach out to me and Hokan via LinkedIn. And then we do have Microsoft Azure Heroes, a learner badger for you that you can scan the QR code and claim. And then if you want to learn more about Azure Static Web Apps, which is the topic of today, feel free to visit this bit.ly linked, bit.ly Azure Sweden learn Azure Static Web Apps in later on if you want to learn by doing. Okay. And also a fika later, which we will reveal the QR later on. Okay,
Yes.
without
Yeah.
further ado, let's welcome our guest,
Yes, dear.
Håkan.
Yes. So let us bring in to the stage Audrey Mengue. Hello, Audrey. How are you?
Hello, Audrey. Hi,
Here.
Okan. Hi, Juna. Hey, everyone. Yep,
Hi,
I'm
Audrey.
here. Can you
Welcome
hear
back
me?
to. Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you. Welcome back to the user group, Azure User Group Sweden. I know this is your second time to join us. The first time that you joined us was, I think, last year when you shared about DevOps and GitHub as well.
So let me just do a
Mm.
formal introduction here for those who don't know Audrey here from before. So Audrey is a
Yes,
software
I'm
engineer
very happy.
at the
Thank you very much for
Turntable.
having me. Yeah.
Yes, yes, so Audrey is a software engineer who holds a bachelor's degree in information technology from Accra Institute of Technology, and she uses tools such as Azure, React, and Springboot to solve different problems. And she has a strong belief that cloud is the future, and therefore she has decided to get Azure certified. And aside from her work activities, she's also a woman in STEM, a woman in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics advocate. And she's an active member of organizations like Microsoft User Group Ghana, PyLadies Ghana, and Developers in Vogue, which helps women to transition and enter the STEM field. And during her spare time, she likes exploring nature or visiting new countries. And I know that Audrey has just recently started her own user group. So maybe you want to tell us about that, Audrey?
Yes, congratulations, Audrey. Yes, I saw that you created a new user group, Microsoft User Group Ghana. Congratulations. I remember we interviewed it in the podcast and we were talking about building a community. Yeah, tell us more about it.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me well because it's a bit breaking. Okay. So, Microsoft User Group Gabon is a community for people from Gabon mainly, and it is French based, but we also welcome speakers from English background. So if you want to share something with our community which is in English, you are also welcome to do so. So we are a newly born community. So if you know somebody who is from a francophone background who needs help getting started in tech, who is passionate about Microsoft products and Microsoft services, then let them join. And yeah, Microsoft User Group Gabon, it's for everybody. And it's based in Libreville, Gabon. Yeah.
It's great. That's great. Yes. Do you have any upcoming sessions or events that you want to share, Audrey?
Yeah, I do. Thank you very much. So on 24th on 24th of June, which is this month, we are going to host our second meetup, and it's going to be about all programs that Azure Microsoft has for people. So we're going to talk about the MVP program. We are going to talk about MCT program. We are going to talk about Student Learn Ambassador program, and because it's something that most people don't know much about here on the ground, we really want to let them know that there is such a thing going on, and there are a lot of benefits in giving back to the community by being
That's
part of
great.
every or each of these programs. Yeah.
Mm, that's great. Yeah. So if you're in Gabon, feel free to join Audra's community that she just built. So I'm very happy to the initiative that you have with a community there, and definitely it's going to make a difference there locally. So yes. So what are you going to talk about today, Audrey? Is a delay, I
Yes,
think.
today I'm going to talk about the Azure Static Web App ecosystem. And yeah, there's a little bit of delay. I'm sorry about that. My internet, I don't know. It's very cloudy here right now, so maybe that's why. So I'm going to talk about Azure Static Web Apps ecosystem, and we are going to conclude the talk with a demo. Hopefully, the gods of demo will be on my side today.
Hmm.
Okay, great. Are you ready to rock your virtual stage, Audrey? Let's get started, maybe. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm
Let's
ready to
see.
rock.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, welcome everybody to this session once again, and it's all about Azure Static Web Apps. So, without further ado, I just move on to the slide. Good. So, who am I? There was an introduction about me, and that's really thank you so much for introducing me. And just a brief, I also do freelancing. I specialize in front-end development, and I'm an Azure certified. I'm based in Libreville, Gabon, and I am the founder of Microsoft User Group Gabon, and I'm forever a volunteer. And the reason why I'm a volunteer forever is because that's how I got started. The impact that communities have had on my career is, has not been neglected. Like it's been a huge impact, and that's why I always dedicate my time to community. So if you need me to talk to, if you want me as a speaker to your community, or you have a CSC call for papers, just let me know. I'll be glad to share what I know with your community, all for free. So what is Azure Static Web App? So Azure Static Web App, okay, don't be distracted by what's written in the logo. I was supposed to remove it, but yeah, I just forgot. So this is the logo. Everything on Microsoft has a logo, which is very important because if reading stuff can be um, it's easier to recognize something that you see. So when you see a logo, it speaks a lot. Um, it is easy for you to recognize it than reading a long text like Azure Static Web Apps. That's really long. So here is the logo for the service. So it's a Microsoft service for hosting static websites. So, but that's not all it does. It does way more than that. So you have your assets, your HTML, CSS, JS, that files that you want to serve. You can use Azure Static Web Apps for that. You build applications with different frameworks like React, which I actually use a lot more. And then you want to host that application somewhere, you you can use Azure Static Web App Service to actually handle the hosting, and you get a URL, and your site will be live within seconds. So yeah, so it's really fantastic service. It makes life really easy, and you can do that in many ways. There's not only one way you can use the service. There are three ways that I know of, but we are going to dive deeper into these ways later on in the talk. Right. So what I like about this slide is that it's from local to global. Basically, you will have your code seated somewhere that you have on your local machine and that you are developing you on your code editor, and then you have all these files that you actually programming. Then later on, you are looking for a place to host your code. Then you create a repository on GitHub, and then you house your code on there in the cloud so that it's accessible at any point. Then, with the magic that Azure Static Web App puts at your disposal, is it will help you to have this code from your code editor to a client machine, accessible from everywhere in the world within seconds. And do not worry, this is really a high level overview of what's actually going on behind the scenes. And there will be a demo to make sure that everything that's here sticks in. And yes, I would like to really remind you that this is a presentation, and if you have any questions, You can just ask as I go, and I will see it appearing on the panel here, and I know the speakers. If I'm not paying attention, the speakers will just draw my attention to that. So don't hesitate to ask questions. Right, now the ecosystem on its own. By ecosystem, what do we understand? We understand that an ecosystem is an ensemble of tools that somebody will use in order to achieve a particular goal. So if you want to develop a website and post it somewhere, there are sets of tools that you will want to use in order to make this um, journey easier for you, from the coding aspect to the hosting aspect. And this is what we're going to talk about. The first step in in the journey would be to get started, and you really, like, it's that basic. You just need to get started, and when you get started, you basically need a GitHub account. That's the first step, and it's free. You don't have to pay for it. um, you also need an Azure account, and Azure is totally free. You can, whenever you open the account, you get $200 worth credit that you can use, and then yeah, you can use it, and with a lot of free services. There are services that are paid, but you get your 200 credits that you can use um, at the beginning, and then later on you can move to the pay-as-you-go plan. So you only pay for what the resources that you're using. Now, the other important tool that we need is so the Azure account comes with all the set of services. So you already have the Azure Web App service available for you that you can use, and we are going to see that later on. And the next really important thing that you need to use um, will be the static web app extension for your VS Code, which is also something that you really need. So when you have it, you will be you install these extensions. I'm going to show you how you do that. You're going to install the extensions, and then you need the Azure Function extension, which is um, whenever you want to make function calls to your front end to communicate, let's just say with the back end, which is whichever back end that you want, you can also add the Azure Function extension to your VS Code. Then you also have the Azure Static Web App CLI. This is also a really good um, CLI tool to also get you started um, with the service, the Azure Static Web App service. Then you need a VS Code, like code editor. My preference is always a VS Code. It's my go-to. And then yeah, this is basically what you need to get started with Azure Static Web App. The most important, they are all important actually. It depends, depending on the way you want to use it, you can decide um, on the static web app extension, the Azure portal, or the CLI. But yeah, it's just important for you to know that these tools are available, and then they will help you achieve your goal. Now, the stack. It's also important to understand the stack that I use for the front end. Anything with JavaScript, TypeScript, any kind of applications that you want to develop, you can actually host them on Azure Static Web Apps. Like, you can use the service for all these tasks. They are supported. So this is not an exhaustive list. It continues. These are just few of them that I put here, and you can find the reference on the docs, the Microsoft docs. And I also forgot to mention that one of the important tools that you also need is the Microsoft Word, Microsoft Docs. It's extremely important because it's very, very much detailed. So whichever issue that you face, uh, the platform managers have the answer to that. Right. So this is all for the stack. Then you have the price. You have the free tier, and this document coming from Microsoft, from Microsoft uh, Static Web Apps. So when you check on the URL and then you add slash price, you actually see this. You see this reflect. This is the page that you see, and then you have, as soon as for the free plan, which is for hobbies and personal projects, it's totally free, and you have the 100 gigabyte per subscription for bandwidth, and you have the custom domain, 2 per app, free SSL certificates, storage per app, Azure function managed, and yeah. And for the standard, you have to pay $9 per month, and then yeah, depending on the purpose of your application, there are services that are free and some that aren't free. You'll have to pay. I mean, at some point, if you know you are going to get some benefits that can be, if you know you are going to monetize your app, it's just fair for you to pay a fee to Microsoft because you're using such a great product, right? So after the price, now why would we want to use it? Because all that I mentioned before, it's easy to set up, but this is mainly why people would use it. You have the free web hosting, you have the GitHub Azure integration. So we're going to see that during the demo. It's actually easy to integrate it with GitHub, and it will authenticate you, and then you will be able to um, use the repositories that you have housed on your GitHub account in order um, to actually host it with the Azure Static Web App service. Then you have authentication provider that is advanced for people who are dealing with login, log out, sign in, sign up. It comes You have providers. Microsoft Azure Static Web Apps actually has this for Twitter, Active Directory, and GitHub. So you can authenticate, and yeah, you can authenticate with these providers. Then you have the CI/CD with GitHub Actions. Actually, you can also do the same with Azure DevOps, but for the purpose of this talk, we are going to focus on GitHub Actions. And the most, the last but not the least for me is to get more done in less time. Um, this is really why you should use Azure Static Web Apps, because a lot comes in handy, very easy to set up, very easy to get going. So we are going to actually deploy an application in less than 5 minutes. That's if the internet is actually um, helping out, if it's not buggy. But if you have a really extremely fast internet, it shouldn't take you a minute to be able to get everything done. Then um, you'll also have to you'll also with the GitHub Actions, you actually have a YAML file that will have your flow whenever you make changes to the repo. Everything is automated, and the changes will be reflected. So it's actually a really cool feature, and I really encourage people to use it. I know there are a lot more services out there, but the cool stuff with Azure is that it's a full um, um, you have a really you have a lot of uh, products, you have a lot of services that you can use out of the box for authentication and every other thing that you want to do. Now, the demo. So we are going to demo how to use the service itself, get it, get our code from GitHub, and then host it on uh, with Azure Static Web Apps. That's a long name. Now you understand why the logo is actually very important. It saves a lot of time, right? So now I'm going to log into my portal. The first approach that we are going to take is doing everything with them on the portal. That's like whenever you start using it, I always encourage people to use the portal because it's very comprehensive. It's something that you see a lot of things happening, and it's like very easy. So yeah, let's go and let's log into our portal. Oh, no, it's not thank you yet. Um, just pull my portal, Azure. Yep, I just realized sharing the screen. Just share it. To use this account that I created for the purpose of to be on the safe side. Great. So log into the account and sign in. Depending on how fast the internet is, all right. So good. So now I'm on my portal. Um, this is my portal. I hope everybody can see the portal. There is a little bit of slow internet. Right.
I
So
can
this
see
is
it,
my
Audrey.
Azure portal.
We
Okay.
can we can see it.
Perfect. Thank
Great. Just to confirm. Yes, great.
Thank you. Right. So this is my portal, and now I'm going to create a static web app. So you click on the service. The service is already there because I used it, and don't we have to change plans. So from from the free plan to the pay as you go. Then exactly. So now we are in the Azure Static Web App, and now we want to create a static web app. Very simple. Going to create the static web app. of taking a bit longer because of the internet. So now, because of my free account, I have the default. Um, I have the default subscription, and then I have a couple of resource group. So I'm just going to select one. So let me just say last one. So one I used before. Define a name for your static web app. Let me just say test web app. So we are going to use the free plan, and then Central US. I'll just leave it the default because I believe Azure knows better. That's what I believe. So then the organization is going to select it automatically depending on your source, because I already connected my GitHub account to my Azure portal. So adding it. So right after I will have to select a repository. So it could be anything, any repository that I want, and I'm just wondering which one I should go for. Yeah, let's just try the dashboard. I don't even remember what this app looks like, so let's take the risk. Or is it like, I don't know. So it would automatically look for the branch that it will pick the changes from. So now from here I can view the previous the workflow for GitHub Actions. You can actually click on that and view the list. But yeah, I'm just going to get to go ahead. So now I have to select to select the framework or others or something custom. Yeah. So I believe my website is just something um, without a framework. So let's go ahead. Then right after we have the output location, we want the app location with the roots. Then I don't have APIs, not making API call. So now the output location is usually build folder, and then I can click on next right after. So the tags you can actually use to add tags if you don't want to. So I'm just going to skip this and go ahead and create. Just preview it and then create it. Okay. So now let's create it. You just have to wait. I just want to signal that it doesn't take long. It really just depends. There are days where Mother Nature is just stronger than anything else, anybody. And we're just waiting to be directed to the resources. So let's go to the resources. Right. It takes longer. Right. So now you'll have this is the URL where our application is being hosted. So we can just click. Just click. It usually goes the other way. Right? Automatically goes somewhere else. So now it comes with this default URL. You can customize it. So your Azure Static Web App is live and waiting for your content. So now what we have to do is to go to on GitHub and check that repository and see what's going on there. Because if we refresh and nothing is happening, it's probably because the build is not completed yet. So yeah, just let me look at the repository. The dashboard repository is here. It's there at the top. Yeah. Now, when we you can see that's been updated 2 minutes ago, which means that something has happened. Then let's find out what. This is some actions. You just go to the actions, and we're going to see if the build has been done or it's still ongoing. So we have the static web app. So we're going to wait until the build process uh, until the workflow is actually like this. It means that we can't, whenever we refresh it here, nothing's gonna happen because we should be able to see our application. Right. So this is it. This is the application. This is well, then it was a recap. Interesting. I didn't make sense. Yeah, just keep the custom. Great. So this is the admin dashboard, and yeah, it seems like our workflow was actually had finished running, and then we have a site that is live, and then yeah, it's totally live, and we can actually go back. We can explore the YAML file. Yeah, so if you want to go there, you can just press to make this flow ongoing. Yeah, so you have everything done here, and then you set the job. You can explore things, and I did not have to. I did not have to manually set it. It comes directly with the service. So you have this seamless integration is already done behind the scenes um, for you. Now let's say we modify it, and we want to see if whenever we modifying it, something happens actually, and then we can see our modification reflect. So let's go. So let's go to the dashboard. Okay. So let's see if we can modify the header, the nav. See, um, as you can see, that's an old repo. I just looking at the way the internet is slow. I just didn't want to take it. Um, and yeah, I just didn't want to take the risk. Let's see how we can actually put it up and pages user. let's just say in the user.js we want to maybe modify. So let me just see. Let me try and locate them dashboard. Admin. So since it's a static web application, we are just going to have access to this. So this page is here, loaded up, and then let's try and see if we can go and modify something. You can actually come anywhere here to modify whatever you want to do. So let's just say user shadow. Modify the user shadow. Let's try and look for them. Um, sorry to just go over it like this. I just completely forgot how this was running, but this is if you want to make any modification that you like. Let me try and change maybe what the maybe the CSS pages. Live demos um, can really um, get tested sometimes. Let's just say that. So let me just try and look for another comment. Okay, so let me just try. Let me just try to modify something very basic. What do I want to modify? Maybe the title. Let me try and modify the title. Let's just try and modify something really. Just to experiment. My internet, I'm so sorry. The internet is actually really deceiving me. I'm trying hard to um, do stuff, but really deceiving me. And I can't modify this. Really. I can't. Okay, USB on. Right. So what we're trying to come to play here is that we want to be able to modify. We should be able to modify something. It's just that this application is becoming a bit complex. I don't remember what it is that I did here quite well. So maybe let me try another application that's pretty simple. So let me just try to create another Azure Static Web App quickly because the time is running. Um, demo will get just really, really, really. Yeah. Let me try to quickly go on and get a new static app and modify it. So yeah. So then things are going to show up. Let's just try to get a very simple one because this the first app that I took. I don't quite remember. It's been over a year. Quite interesting. So is there a question? I don't know if there's a
Yeah,
question.
yes,
Let me check the
Audrey.
thing.
Yes, yeah. I was
And
sorry.
then,
Yes, Audrey. Can you hear me?
yep. Yes,
Yes,
I can
there's
hear you.
actually a
Can you?
question. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. There's actually a question from one of our audience on watching us on YouTube. Let me show it to you. Let's see. Let's see. I believe it's a question, but static web app doesn't have networking feather like web app. So how we can configure inbound and outbound port if needed? This is basically needed when you choose to allow traffic instead of public. Did
So
you?
so static web app doesn't have networking feeder letter like web app. So how can we configure inbound and outbound port if needed? This is basically needed when you choose to allow street instead of public. So thank you very much for the question. So I just want to understand it a bit further. So when you want to allow traffic, are you talking about people restricting access to your application by people, or just the application being uh, viewed everywhere? You don't want the application to be viewed everywhere. So it's like you have this domain that you have, and then your application is actually live in public. People can just go log into this, um, click on this link, and have access to your application. Is that what you mean? That you want to restrict people to have access to your application, but is it in terms of logging, or just the link shouldn't allow everybody to get access to the application? If it is for the first um, um, place, if it's if I don't want to view anyone, right? So from what I understand, if you want, I think Azure has a you can set the domain for your application. You can set these rules with Azure Static Web Apps to actually restrict the applications. And there is a learning path on Microsoft Learn that actually takes you through all that. Um, if you want people to not have access, you can actually set up rules. So you have a configuration file that you will have, and in this configuration file, you can set up rules for concerning the access to the application. It's actually very much possible. I don't know if I actually answered the question. You want the application to be available inside the organization only, right? That's actually a good point. So for this, I think there is a service that comes with Microsoft Azure. I'm not really sure about the service because I'm not really sure about that service, but I'll have to check it out for you. But there must be a way, because um, there is a way that, not that there must be, there is a way to actually build applications that are just uh, custom made for them, for uh, for your organization. For instance, you can build in if you build an application on that you want to work only on a team application, that will be just restricted to your organization. There's there are so many options for that. Okay, so somebody's saying that Azure Static Web Apps has access management, the IAM, which you can use to achieve your goal. Yeah. So you can set up these rules actually. to make sure that only a certain um, category of people will have access to your application. So right, I think we are actually almost, it's almost time, and I'm just going to show you quickly how this can be done on VS Code, because, well, apparently, as I said, the god of demos were not with me again. I don't know if I will, I don't know if I will be so confident doing live demos anymore, because this is really, really difficult. So, yeah, let me just pull up uh, my VS Code and try explain something to you. Okay, cool. Let me just pull it up. I'm going to, because of the quality of the internet, it might not even load really fast. So let me just quickly show how you can actually use the extension, VS Code extension. So the first thing that you'll have to do when you want to use the extension is to install it. So you go to the marketplace, have to add, and I already have it, so it will just appear here. You'll have to install it. Once you are done installing it, it just takes 5 minutes. It doesn't even take long. File or your folder that you actually want to load. As I said, I already loaded this one up. But if though, let me just open the new window. So make it clear. To have access, let me just explain it to you. But I hope you will research to go and explore it on your own. So you can come to Azure, and here you'll have you have to log into your Azure account. I allocated, so my Azure subscription will be here. I have already developed and deployed some applications here. You can you you can see them when you go under the static web app. Now, if you want to create a button, and then you can create the static web app. I already have resources, so yeah, so you can go create a static web application. It's very, very coming up. So you can change the name. Let me just say 2, and then you click OK. Then you choose the region. I'll take the Central US region. You choose the kind of application, have the static site generators, and you can go to Gatsby. You enter a location for your application. It's going to be public. That's what actually goes with the static, the site generator. Then you will let me reload it. For it to reload. time, but that. Right, we just have it is really, the internet is really not friendly today. Is there any question? No? Okay, I don't see any questions. Well, if the process is taking too long, you've seen the different steps that we're taking because we have 2 minutes left time. The process is taking a bit long, but all you need to do is to already have a repository already the setup for you in GitHub. Authenticate yourself with GitHub. Um, can somebody hear me? My internet is very slow today. Hey. Really, really sorry about that. Is happening again. Yeah.
Audrey, how are you? Audrey, can you hear us?
Well, you've seen the post. Yeah.
That's maybe we should try. Can you try to de-share? I mean, unshare your stream. I mean, your presentation. See if it helps your connection. Let's see. I can do that. Let's see. We try this one. Do you
Okay.
hear us? Can you hear us? I think there's a delay. Audrey.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, did you have more in your on your presentation that you want to show? I can show it again. Hello? Maybe we
Yes.
should let her
Great. So
reconnect. What do you
it's
think? I
everything
mean,
that I worked
oh,
on.
how can you hear me?
Yeah,
No
sure.
delay?
Yes.
Yes,
No.
okay, great.
Mm.
I think there's a delay on her hearing us right now.
Mm.
Maybe let's see if we can have her reconnect somehow. But what do you think?
Yeah, we can try that.
Let's see.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yes.
Tough.
Let's. Yes. Do you want to try to turn off your webcam for now, Audrey? I'm just thinking maybe it's the video that eat up your like speed or something from your side. Try it. At least you could hear maybe better.
Okay.
Let me see if I can control it from my side. Turn off your cam from here.
Yeah. Let me.
Oh, no, I can't. Okay.
Mm.
Try to talk to us and see.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. I think yes.
Oh,
I think
oh,
I think it's better.
yes.
I think so. So let's try without video for now, Audrey. But let's see. Show your stream. Yeah, yeah. You said thank you. Any questions? Yes. We don't have a question, but we did have a few audience said that the audio was breaking up, which is also the same on our side. But otherwise, great presentation, Audrey. Great presentation and demo on Azure Static Web Apps. So sometimes technology doesn't work as we should, but you did great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you, Audrey.
Yes. So,
Thank you so
did you
much.
have? Yes, you're welcome.
Sorry.
Did you have anything else that you want to share to our audience or community in terms of? I saw that you shared GitHub repo. Do you wanna? Do you have that link that you can share later on with them?
Yes, I can share it later on. I will prepare it
Mm,
and I will share the
okay.
link later on. Uh, yeah, it's
Okay.
just I took the risk to go live, and this is it. It's the
Yes.
risk.
It's yes. It happens. It happens sometimes. Great presentation. We do have Sa- okay. Okay, we do have Said with us. It tuned in on LinkedIn as well. It said great presentation, Audrey. So yeah, great job, Audrey, and I really appreciate your time trying to deliver your session in spite of the technical difficulties, especially intermittent connection. It's not easy, even in solving problems. So yeah, great job on that. But I hope that the connection will be better later because we're gonna be doing after session fika with Audrey for 15 minutes after today. And if you want to join us, you can actually scan the QR code or go to bit.ly/ASUG Sweden Fika and then today's date 2023 So Audrey will be joining us. Håkan and I will be there as well to see if some of you wants to continue the conversation and ask questions with Audrey. Okay. Let's try to show yourself again, Audrey, and see if it works better. So they see you. Your camera. There. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
she
Oh.
went in incognito mode.
Incognito mode. Yes. Oh, amazing technology, but
Oh my God.
it's not a barrier for you to share about Azure. Great job, Codas anyway. Okay. Okay.
I'm
Håkan,
going
do we
to
have
take a
anything
break
else?
from live transmission.
Yeah, so speaking about taking breaks here, we are actually going on a summer break here,
Mhm.
Jonah.
Yes, we do. So this is our last session for the month of June, and then next in the next 2 weeks, it's also like the midsummer holiday in Sweden. So we will be skipping a session for that, and then in July, Håkan and I will be taking a break as a summer break. But then we will be back in August, late August, to with a lot of sessions coming actually planned for until October. So we are going to be publishing or announcing that later on. A lot of sessions coming about containers, AKS, and a lot more. So please feel free to tune in to our upcoming announcements.
Yes.
Yes. So anything else, Håkan?
No, not just if you want to talk more to Audrey and learn more about Azure Static Web Apps here, you can join this link here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
and I guess then it's time for us to wish everyone nice summer.
Yes, that's right. Especially today, it's very nice weather also today and this coming weekend. And everyone that's watching us from Sweden or in the Nordics, happy midsummer in advance to you in the coming few weeks. And I hope that you enjoy it with your family and friends. And probably Håkan and I will greet you in any way. All right. Thank you so much, Audrey. I see that you froze, but I appreciate your time today. And for everyone, thanks also. And see you again in the next few months. Bye bye.